Practical number game, Numer0n. Welcome to the web program Numer0n TV. This is a special program with various segments designed to help you further enjoy the game of Numer0n. Hello, I'm Nelson Babincoy, and I'll be introducing you to the magic of Numer0n through this program, Numer0n TV. Let's begin. Today is Numer0n 101 Basics. Today you will learn about what makes Numer0n special. Okay, let's start. First, let's get to know the rules of Numer0n. Two opposing players each create a 3-digit number using a 15-card deck numbered from 0 to 9. However, players cannot use the same number twice, such as 550 or 737. Players call out number guesses, which will be judged by each other and attempt to guess their opponent's number first. Judges are made using eats and bites. If a number is in the correct position, it's called an eat. If the number is used but in a different position, it's a bite. Using the judges as hints, the player who guesses their opponent's number first is the winner. Alright, now let's review. The most important words in Numer0n are eat and bite. If both the number and the position match, it's an eat. If the number matches, but not the position, it's a bite. You will need to use these eats and bites to help correctly guess your opponent's number. Alright, now I'm going to try and guess the numbers on the board. First, let's try a very orthodox normal start of choosing the first 3 numbers, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, 1 eat and 1 bite. That's not bad. Right away, I already know 2 of the numbers, and that one of the numbers is an eat, which means it's in the right position. So one of these 3 numbers is the same as these 3 numbers. And 1 is in the number, but it's not in the right position. Great, so this is a good way to start off the game. Now let's move on to turn 2. And let's try going from the back. So let's try 987. Okay. Okay, 0 bites, 0 eats. This is a very good move because now we know that 987, these 3 numbers are not used in this number, so we can get rid of 9, 8, and 7. It narrows down the field by quite a bit. All right, so in turn 3, let's try and guess the remaining numbers since we already know 2 numbers. And we know that 9, 8, and 7 are not part of the numbers, so it must be 3, 4, 5, or 6. So let's go ahead and try using 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 1 eat, 0 bites. Perfect. So now we know that one of the numbers in 4, 5, and 6 is in the correct position and it's being used. It's an eat. Very good. So now we know all 3 numbers. We just need to find out their positions, which means even though we haven't used number 3, we can cross it out. All right, so in turn 4, let's try and get closer to the correct number. From here on, there are many different methods we could try and use to get to this number, but let's start off with our first guess, where we had 1 eat and 1 bite, so we know 2 of the numbers, 0, 1, 2. And here, let's say that 0 is the eat, means it's in the correct digit, the correct position, so we'll move that down to the first position, 0. Which means 1 or 2, not both of them. One of these numbers is also in this number. And since it's a bite, it means it's in the wrong position. Okay, let's say number 2. Let's use number 2. So since number 2 is in the 3rd position and it's a bite, it means it would have to be in the 2nd position. Right there. All right, now let's move on to the other number that we know, which is our 3rd guess. So we know that there is 1 eat. So one of these numbers is in the final number. And since this is an eat, we know it's in the correct position, which leaves the only open position, the 3rd position, would have to be number 6. All right, So let's try guessing with this number. There is a chance that this could be the correct answer. All right, let's try it out. 026. 0 eats in 1 bite. Okay, and what's very important to notice from here is that since there's only 1 bite, there's only 1 correct number in this number, in the final number. So, since we use 2 numbers from turn 1, 0 and 2, it means only one of those numbers, 0 or 2, is being used in the final number, which lets us know that number 6 is not part of the answer, and 1 is definitely part of the answer. So, in turn 5, we're going to focus on 1, since we know that is in the final answer. And let's say number 1 is an eat. It's a number in the right position, so let's bring it down to the middle. Now there's 2 possibilities here. One would be something 1 0 or 2 1 something. Since one would have to be an eat, the other one would be a bite. Now if we look back to turn 3, 6, it's not in the final number, which means the third position cannot be 6. So this is not a possibility, which lets us know that the first digit must be number 4. 4 1 0. Okay, now let's go back to thinking if number 1 wasn't eat but a bite, which means it's in the wrong position. Now, if we want to make another number with this, there must be another eat here in this number. But we know through this, our 4th guess, that 0 is not an eat. So we can say 1 would have to be in the first position, which would lead 2 as being the eat. So it'd be in the 3rd position. And that leads us to turn 3, where we guess 4, 5, 6 with 1 eat. That means number 5 would be in the middle. So we have the correct answer right here. It's one of these 2 numbers, 410 or 152. Now it's just up to your intuition. So I'm gonna go with this number. I think this is it. Let's check it out. 410. All right, yeah! Got it! Thank you, Numer0n! Oh, sorry about that. I got kind of lost in the euphoria of winning. That's the game of Numer0n. See how fun it is? Anyway, let's keep going. In Numer0n, it's very important to use your incorrect guesses as ways to help you get the right answer, as hints to get the right answer. But also, there are very unique special items that make the game even more interesting and more tactical. Let's check those out.
If you want to win, items are a very important part of Numer0n. First, let's introduce the offensive items. Offensive items can be used when it's your turn to make a call by pushing the item button. These items allow you to guess the opponent's number with more accuracy.
You double your attack, but if you make a mistake, you're in trouble. Double.
First up is double. This is an extremely useful item that lets you make 2 calls in a row. However, if you use this item, you must reveal one of your digits to your opponent. This is an offensive item that can do major damage. But if you use it at the wrong time, you'll be in trouble.
An almighty item you can use at any point in the game. High and low.
Next is high and low. This item lets you know which digit in your opponent's play number is low, 0 to 4, or high, 5 to 9. For example, if the play number is 716, using high and low would make your opponent answer with high, low, high. Another powerful item to help you get closer to the correct number.
If the number is being used, a huge advantage. Even if it isn't, it's a good hint. Target.
Target. The attacking player gets to pick a number, and the defender must tell the attacker if that number is used or not. In addition, if the number is used, the attacker also gets to know which position the number is in. For example, if the play number is 835 and the attacker uses target and chooses 3, the defender must tell the attacker 3 is in the second digit. Even if the number isn't used, it lets the attacker narrow down the possibilities.
By just being able to use this item, your opponent feels the pressure of making sure the slash number doesn't become 2 or 9. Slash.
The last item is slash. If this item is used, the defender must take the highest number used and subtract the lowest number and tell the attacker the remaining number. For example, if the play number is 726, the highest would be 7 and the lowest would be 2, so the slash number would be 5. If the slash number is 9, then you would know that 9 and 0 are used. And if the slash number is 2, then the correct number would have to include 3 numbers in order. So with slash, you can figure out the number pattern your opponent is using.
Double lets you attack twice in one turn. High and low helps you narrow the possibilities. Target lets you aim for a number. And slash narrows down the patterns. How you use these items is key to victory. Next, we'll be introducing the defensive items.
Defensive items can be used when the opponent is attacking if the defender presses the item button before the attacker makes a call.
2 defensive items that can help you get out of a dire situation. Shuffle and change.
First, we have shuffle. Shuffle lets the defender rearrange the number as he or she pleases before the opponent's call. You can also just pretend to change the number and leave it the same. This item allows you to confuse your opponent and move in for a surprise attack. The other defensive item is change. This lets the defender change one of the digits to any other number before the opponent's call. Before changing the number, you must announce which position will be changed and if it's high or low. However, you can only change a low number, 0 to 4, to another low number, and a high number, 5 to 9, to another high number.
2 defensive items you can use to get away from an opponent close to victory. Use these to catch your opponent off guard and come back from behind to win. Today's program was Numer0n 101 Basics, where we introduced the rules of Numer0n to you. Next time, it'll be Numer0n 101 Playing the Game. Keep practicing your Numer0n skills and see you next time.
The Numer0n smartphone app is now available. Compete with players from all around the world. A new tutorial mode has been added. Now you can play along with the guide and learn the basic rules and how to use the items, so you too can become the #1 Numer0n player. Download now. Search for Numer0n.